Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Accountant Corner. I am Nidra Kales, a personal accountant, and I'm super excited to be here. I have been challenged to go live on YouTube for the next 7 days. So I thought I'd start this wonderful Friday with some good news. Okay. So yesterday we found out that there's no more money for the Paycheck Protection Program, and the money is also ran out on the EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Good news is they're trying to work out a deal to add more money. Okay, so another portion of the CARES Act talked about you guys' credit. So I thought it'd be so awesome to just go into number one, besides talking to your creditors, even though everybody already know we are in the midst of a crisis, it's still our job, your job, to contact any creditors, mortgage lenders, car loans, credit cards, whatever. Contact them and let them know that you have been affected by the pandemic, right? And so if you do that and they do something like waive a payment or defer the payments, right? Or allow you to make a partial payment, something like that. Any kind of accommodation that they make for you during this time, they're also required to continue to report as current, right? Another thing that the CARES Act does is if you are, say, behind, and during this time from 120 days from the time that the president signed the act into law, which was March 13th, 120 days, during this time, if you're able to, say, use your stimulus and get caught up, right? They now have to report current. And so this is for all creditors if you had an active account with them. Now, the exclusion for this is charge-off accounts. So if you have something in collection or something that was charged off, this doesn't apply to that. However, if maybe you were behind, ask them to do it. The law says that they're required to go from delinquent to current if you catch up, right? And if you guys want to read this portion of the bill yourself, is on congress.com, and it is the section 4021 that covers the credit protection, right? Okay, so another thing that it offered was eviction protection. So for another 120 days, your landlords are not allowed to file eviction on you. They're not allowed to add any extra penalties or fees if you cannot pay. But this is only if you contact them. So we have to be proactive. It's very, very important. Yes, it is assumed that whether I think it's only 6 or 7 states that aren't, their governors haven't put that in, but it is still recommended that you stay at home if you can. A lot of people are downsizing the hours business wise, trying to save money. So it can be assumed that everybody is affected. However, again, you're still obligated to contact your creditors, contact your landlord, and let them know. Now, if you let them know, then they cannot file proceedings, or the proceedings have to stop right now for 120 days, which gives you an opportunity to actually catch up, right? Use your stimulus wisely if you are able to, if you qualify. If you don't know whether you qualify or not, if you are single and you made less than 75,000, right? You qualify for the full $1,200. Dependents under 17, you have a dependent under 17, you also qualify for additional $500 per child under 17, and they use your 2018 or your 2019 tax return. Okay. They haven't specified which one that they use, so we don't know that. I'm not sure, but they're going to use one or the other. Now, if you only get Social Security or maybe some VA benefits, then you're going to have to use the IRS website and go on there and tell them, that you qualify basically, because right now they're using tax returns. Okay, now for us, our homeowners, they're also offering something. So if you may have been behind prior to the Act and were maybe in a foreclosed type issue, they also can't file for foreclosures now for 120 days. Now, with that in mind, since they can't file foreclosures and that you were affected by COVID-19, the virus, what have you, the first time is 180 days, right? And then say 6 months from now, because that's 180 days, you're not able to get a job or get more benefits, whatever it is, the income still hasn't arrived yet, right? You can call and ask for additional 180 days. This is a forbearance, so it's almost a full year that you get to make non-payments on your mortgage and keep your home. Now, I'm not recommending this. However, if you cannot afford to pay this bill, your mortgage, this helps you stay in your home. They're required not to change your interest rate. They're required not to give you any late payments. So no extra fees, none of that will be tacked on for that 12-month time. Normally what I would predict that would happen is that when you're able to pay, what they would do is divide that year worth of payments, or that 6 months worth of payments, whatever it is, and have you added to your monthly payment. Say you owe $12,000 and you maybe have 10 years more to pay on your, it's the let me see. Oh, okay. So the same thing applies if you own commercial property and your tenants don't pay you, so you can't pay your commercial property mortgage. Forbearance time frame, as you would if you just had a single family home. Now, again, if you want to find or research this yourself in the CARES Act, you go to congress.com and it's the 748 bill, and read section 1 for credit. For evictions, it is 4023. So each one of those sections protects you and your credit right now. Now, let's talk about student loans, because that is also in there. And what they were saying in the very beginning is that we were going to have forgiveness for 30,000, and then it was 10,000, 15,000, just all these different amounts, right? So what it actually says is, for 6 months, they don't necessarily forgive. The wording is they suspend your regular payments, right? They suspend them. And it's as if you would have made that payment, so they apply it to your loan. So it's not necessary forgiveness, right? So if your payments were $5, they'll suspend the $5 and still apply it to your loan. If your payments were $100, they suspend the $100 and apply it to your loan. Now, your student loan servicer should have already contacted you, because the act says they only have 15 days from March 13th, which was when it was signed, I believe. March 13th. They have 15 days from that time to contact you. So you should have already had this information. Now, between now and August, because it will end in September, which is the 6-month mark, right? By August 1st, they need to send out your options, right? Because this is when the CARES Act is due to expire for student loans. And so they're going to give you options at that time, where if you still can't pay, what do you do? So do you do income-based payment? Do you defer again? What are your options? So by August 1st, they're going to give you those options. And that really covers the CARES Act and your credit, right? So right now, they can't put you out of your homes, thankfully. Your creditors have to work with you if you tell them that you've been affected. And your student loans are good, right? So if you still are making money, it is so wise if the creditors work with you and do something like suspend your interest for a little while. It's so wise to continue to make these payments because what you're doing is making principal only payments and it actually saves you money. If they suspend your interest and you make those same payments, it goes directly to your principal, and over the length of your loan, you get to pay it off quicker, right? So you should still pay if you can. Another reason why you want to pay if you can is that they're not forgiving these amounts, right? So when this is all over, you will still owe the money. You'll still owe the money, and so $500 now can be $5,000 10 months from now, right? Because the bills are still accumulating. Your light, you're still using your light, you're still using your water, you're still living in your home, you're still in your rental space. Right now, if you're not getting unemployment, then you might be using your credit cards. So you're utilizing this money. So be wise with it because you have to pay it back. Unless a different bill comes out and say that all of this unsecured debt is forgiven, which I doubt it. It's possible, but I doubt it. Unless they put out something where all of this loan money is forgiven, you owe it. And so be wise, manage your money, look at your budget, know your numbers like you know your name, right? So you know what's coming into your account, know what you're paying out, and know how much you got left, right? If you don't know how to budget, that's something I would love to help you guys with. And that is it for my first day of this 7-day YouTube channel. I hope that you learned something today. It was fun for me, a little uncomfortable, but very fun. So I hope that you learned something from me. And remember, your success is vital to my success. So let's learn together. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a good day.